So Wuthering Waves is gearing up for even more updates and even more characters coming to the game. Now obviously we looked at a trailer yesterday, essentially showing us an animation of a lot of the current characters and also some new characters that will be coming to the story, as well as a little bit of a sneak peek of the story in the future. Now I think that it's very interesting to see because obviously Wuthering Waves have already kind of announced a lot of the new characters coming to the game. It's just a matter of time until we see them coming out on a banner. Now obviously we've had, characters like this, for example, Galbrainer, who looks absolutely amazing, and I'm very excited to see what kind of happens with a lot of her skill, because again, this animation looks sick. She's got the whole one wing thing going on, which I think is absolutely amazing. But I wanted to go into exactly, what a character people are looking forward to pulling, because again, I'm very interested to see what exactly is the most popular choice for a lot of people. So in this video, we're going to be going through that and going through some votes and polls of, a lot of the audience in which character they're most excited to see. So this is the poll over here over on WuWa Unfiltered. I thought it was very interesting. Obviously, this is over on the Game with JP website. So this is going to be majority of the JP's opinion. Now, there's probably some other places as well mixed in there. But again, as you can see, the first character that we have on here is Chisa, who obviously seems to be a pretty big part of the Wuthering Waves story, which I am very excited to see how she kind of fits in, because obviously, we have Galbrainer, we have all of these other people being featured in this kind of, animation, but also at the end, we have like a post-credit scene almost of Chisa looking backwards, which obviously looks absolutely amazing, but it makes me feel like there is a big part to the story that is including her. And I think, yeah, many people are very excited to see her. I mean, she's got a whole kind of anime kind of style fit going on there, which I think is really cool. I mean, it's like a school kind of outfit, like with the, that, whatever you call it. I don't know what you would even call it. It's like a broken school outfit, which I think is pretty cool. And obviously, a lot of people are very excited for that, with 87% saying that they'll definitely pull, 7% saying it'll depend on how she is, and 5% saying that they won't be pulling. That don't back down means won't be pulling, by the way. Obviously, as well, we go on to another character, which is Augusta, who obviously is a very, very popular character as well. We already know what her gameplay looks like from it being released on certain sources. You guys can go back and watch the video on that if you want to go see that. But essentially, yeah, it seems like she is much less wanted than Chisa, with them actually voting only 34% of people wanting her, which I think is pretty crazy compared to Chisa's one here, which is, 87%, which I think is crazy, 34% want to pull her, 19% said it would be depending on, how good she is, whether she's good or not, and then 46% of people saying not going to pull. Now, I don't know if this is because of Iuno, and maybe they don't want to pull on her because of Iuno, but again, maybe it's because of that, maybe it's because they weren't impressed by the gameplay which has come out, but it's very interesting because she is a very hyped up character, and I think she would be very cool, but I guess maybe it's not a lot of people over in Japan's kind of thing. I'm going to be very interested to see what Iuno is going to be like. And here we go, is Iuno. And yeah, obviously she has a much better she's got a much better pool with a lot of the people. We got 47% of people going to pull. There's almost 50%, half of the people on this site are going to be pulling for her. 27% of them are, depending on how good she is in terms of the meta, in terms of, her abilities. And 25% of people are not going to be pulling on her, which I think is definitely interesting. But again, obviously, you got to factor in as well, whenever people say they're not going to pull on her and they put not going to pull, I think what they really mean is depending on the performance sometimes, because a lot of people will put not going to pull, see the performance and then pull, but not put depending on the performance. Again, there's a lot of people who switch up their mind very easily and are very, very heavily in the boat of don't pull now, but whenever they see the gameplay, they might be, oh, like maybe I should. So again, maybe that's also a factor as well as to why a lot of these won't pull kind of things are so high. But yeah, very interesting. Obviously, she has a much higher wanting to pull rate than Augusta, which is pretty crazy. Obviously we've also got this new guy, I forgot what his name is completely, but again, he also has a very high thing. I mean, he's got 49.2%, very similar to Iuno, although there's a lot of people, less people saying that it's going to depend on how he is, and there's more people saying that they just straight up won't pull him, which I think is very interesting. Obviously he was also featured in the story trailer a little bit earlier on. He looked really cool too. Again, I'm not really going to be pulling for him. I'm not very interested. In terms of all these characters, I'm definitely going to be pulling Iuno, Augusta, and Chisa. I do want all of those. This guy, though, I'm not really sure. His design seems a little bit boring to me. I'm going to be honest. But again, if you want to pull him, I think that's totally fine as well. I think you know, he can be a cool character. And maybe he's going to be OP as well. But hey, we'll have to wait and see. And then finally, we've also got Galbraina. Now, I'm pretty 50-50 on whether I'm going to pull her or not. I mean, her design looked really, really cool in the animation, which is probably one of the things that is going to make me pull for her. But again, this has got a very, very high rating as well, with them having 70% you know, of people saying that they're going to be pulling her, and then yeah, 19% of people saying you know, depends, and then 10% saying they are not going to be pulling, which I think is pretty crazy. You know, only 10% saying they're not. Obviously previous characters, you know, 36%, you know, if we keep going back as well, 25%, you know, 40%, you know, 5% is the lowest amount. You know, Chisa has absolutely blown it out of the park there. I think as the most popular character that is upcoming. So again, you know, I think it goes Chisa, then Galbraina, then Iuno. No, then it goes this guy, which is very interesting. And then it goes Iuno, and then obviously it goes, yeah, Augusta, which I think Augusta at last is pretty crazy. Obviously people saying, damn, Chisa looks like Rio. She's wife trying to pull. Said that's one of the reasons for me to pull her. The other is according to, okay, I don't really care about that kind of stuff. I'm not going to talk about that. You guys did not see that one. But again, obviously there's a lot of people talking about leaks and things in here, which I don't really want to get into. I just want to go off based off what people are thinking and what you know, they want these characters to look like, and what, you know, they're basically pulling off of looks at the moment. You know, people saying, if you're curious, to pull in Japanese is that, but the word can mean a ton of different things in this dictionary. To move back, to draw back, to recede, to fall back, to retreat. So yeah, obviously that's why it's kind of translated weirdly. So again, yeah, a lot of people are very interested in this. People saying they have their priorities. Also, if you forgot one, have a nice day though. Oh my god, bro. If Cristoforo became a character, apparently 72% of people said they would not pull for him, which is absolutely crazy. Bro, they must hate him. That's crazy. I know he's an evil guy, but holy. I mean, I guess he's evil and he's a male, so, you know, a lot of people, you know, he's already debuffed, which I think is pretty crazy. But yeah, obviously, I'm not surprised that Augusta isn't popular. She has an attitude like Q and Q. Didn't perform well in JP as well, my favorite. I said the same red hair as Lupa is disgusting. That alone is a little loss. Although if it's a little rusty on the roof, then the seller will be okay. That's crazy. So yeah, obviously, yeah. I mean, people are also putting in their opinion, saying skip Chisa, skip Augusta, skip Iuno, skip Chiwan, all in on Galbraina. So obviously some people are very heavily dedicated to one of these characters as well, which I think is definitely interesting. And obviously I feel like there's a lot of free-to-play players here with them obviously you know, saying, or I say free-to-play, maybe like light spenders or whatever, with them being so careful with who they're pulling and who they're not pulling and who they're going all in for, which I think, yeah, is pretty nice to see. And obviously that is just a kind of quick look at who the most popular character is and who you can expect to see a lot of people getting hyped for in the next couple updates, and we'll have to wait and see which ones come on the banner. Obviously, we know Augusta and Iuno are said to come out next, but obviously, you know, it seems like other ones will be soon to follow after that. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to Game Subs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off again. There's a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. So, see ya.